Thanks everybody for coming in. First on the agenda is the meeting minutes. So we're getting caught up on meeting minutes. We've been trying to get a meeting minute taker for since June, July. I haven't heard anything. I've been repeatedly asking, so hopefully if something changes soon. But right now, Justin's been trying to get us caught up on some of the meetings. So we do have the August 26th meeting minutes. Would someone can make a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Someone to second that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I have to abstain, I wasn't here.
Me too.
Yeah. So moved as approved. The next is the notice of intent for 68 Acadia Road. The Gardner Conservation Commission will hold a joint public hearing under MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetlands Protection Act and City of Gardner Wetlands Protection Ordinance. On a notice of intent filed by Graz Engineering on behalf of Roy Copeland for the construction of a single-family home at 68 Acadia Road. This is a continuance from 9/9/24 and also 9/23, and the applicant has requested an extension to 11/25. If someone can make that motion.
I'll make that motion.
Someone to second that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved as approved to the 25th. Next on the agenda is 143. Let's wait on that one. 143. It's a short ride.
Yeah.
143 Colony Road, the Gardner Conservation Commission will hold a joint public hearing under MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 of the Wetlands Protection Act, the City of Gardner. Notice of intent filed by All Purpose Storage Gardner LLC, represented by Christopher Guda, Fieldstone Land Consultants for work on parcel ID X22 1316 8 through 14 and 9 through 18 at 143 Colony Road. The project entails an extension of existing storage facilities, including 7 storage containers, 4 of which are located within the buffer zone of the bordering vegetated wetland. This is DEP 1600664, and also has a violation enforcement order, which is a continuance of September 25th. How you doing?
Oh, good to see you all again.
Yeah. For the record, we did make a site visit, was it Tuesday?
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday? Gosh. Everything looked really good out there, so I appreciate you hanging in there. I know that you walked into some things you weren't, aware of, as we were not aware of. And you presented to us and tried to come up with a good plan to fix it, to remediate, replicate, replant, grading, and it looks really good. So I just thank you for hanging in there. If you could extend that to the owners.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we do appreciate it, and you want to just talk about what you guys did, how much you took out, so the record can see that.
Okay, so based upon the site walk and discussions with the contractors who were on site, it's estimated about 1,200 cubic yards of asphalt millings were removed from the wetland buffer. The 1,700 square feet of wetland impact was removed entirely down to native soils, was reseeded with the wetland plant mix. The buffer areas that were restored were planted with New England conservation mix.
Is there a difference between the conservation mix and the wetland mix?
Yes.
Okay.
And on that restoration plan, the actual species are all called out, so it's about 30 different species. I talked with one of the employees from Wet Plants down in Hadley.
Yeah.
And said some of that seed actually does need to freeze before it's viable. But based upon our discussions on site, the plan is to have a 2 growing season monitoring program to ensure viability.
Okay.
And then I believe we had also talked about securing the areas in some other fashion than what has been presented on the plan, so something like a split rail fence or...
Yeah, so this is what people that weren't there when we were talking about it. When you come down the little ramp to the lower lot, we're talking about, he's got almost like a silt sock around where the wetlands buffer line is. And for the future, we're thinking about having a split rail fence or some type of designation. I know a lot of areas we were putting big boulders, but I think that would probably cause an issue and over time get plowed into the wetlands. So maybe some fencing along that areas would be good. Maybe a little plaque on there, why?
Plaque on the posts and certainly.
Yeah. We did that, something similar to that over at Nature Trail, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So maybe you can give them a picture of that to show them what we're looking for. But it does look good, like I said, we appreciate what you guys have done out there. You picked all the trash up, got the barriers out, all those campers that didn't belong there in the first place, and removed them, so I appreciate that. And what else, so going forward, what is the plan and what's the timeline if this is approved?
So the plan is to remove the rest of the outdoor storage that's up above in that section. So there's to be no outdoor storage of vehicles or anything associated with this. It's gonna be all controlled site access with individually leased lockers or units. Previously, what had happened was people had outdoor storage, they stopped paying, but whatever they had was just left there. Under the new ownership, if once their lease is broken, then the units would be emptied, auctioned, and put up for somebody who's going to continue to pay the lease.
Can you just hold that up and talk about where the wetlands lines are? I mean, it's all been previously disturbed, so we all aware of that, we're aware of that, but talk about the potential plan going forward.
So right here, this is the utility easement that comes through. There's wetlands that come down. This is a pretty steep grassy slope that comes down with some shrubs that have grown in. So this wetland comes here, and then it follows the topography and wraps around. Similarly over here, continued on the other side of that utility easement, there's additional wetlands, which is actually a little bit more developed in terms of plant life. You have actually like cattails and things like that that have rooted, and it's very, very clearly wetland system. Over here, I think you've also had some expansion of the wetlands based upon poor drainage at the site and directing stormwater flows directly to the wetlands. The plan going forward is to upgrade all of the drainage on site to make it all closed drainage, curbing to capture any stormwater runoff that doesn't just exit the pavement area. And then it's all to be treated in a underground chamber system here. And then the rest of the stormwater will go to a pond that is to be created outside of the 60-foot buffer.
What's the timeline?
So as of right now, I believe the plan would be in the spring. And we would coordinate that.
We're talking about if you needed, we probably need a newer updated plan of what you want to do now that everything's kind of been cleaned up.
Right.
Show what you believe now, the wetlands, delineation lines, the 30, the 6 feet, and just to kind of show where those two proposed areas that are gonna be constructed, that they almost fall outside of those zones now.
Correct. So in addition to that, we can show the split rail fence and have construction details for how those are to be installed.
Yeah.
So I guess just to kind of review what we had looked at too, because portions of the buffer that were restored, we had previously proposed additional plantings in there, and I think it would still be a good idea to supplement those areas with larger nursery stock.
Okay, I like that.
And we've targeted pollinator and fruiting species for those.
Now, there's gonna be a lot of sun there though, right? Doesn't get much shade.
Morning sun.
That's it?
But it depends which side you're on.
Okay.
There is some shading.
Okay, good. All right. So you're gonna come back before us. When do you wanna continue this? How much time?
Can we go, the next meeting would be,
That'd be the 25th of November. Is that enough time?
yeah, there wouldn't be one.
No, I did the same thing back in the day.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if you guys bumped it to the next day or,
No.
okay. That sounds great.
All right, thanks for your efforts again. Someone like to make a motion to approve a continuance to the 25th of November.
So moved.
Someone like to second that?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thanks, Ken. Just give us what you can a couple weeks before, or a week before even.
Yeah, I'll give you at
We're
least-
kind of familiar with it now, so
We'll give you at least a week lead time.
thank you.
And then is there anything you need from our end regarding the enforcement order
No, we can send something, Justin can kind of craft a letter up,
Okay.
saying that the enforcement order is null and void, and kind of give an update of where it started, where we are today, maybe a picture. You can initial it, and then we'll send it to you, and that'll close that out. Anything further statewide?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks,
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Drive safe. Thanks for coming out there tonight, I know you had a long ride.
Yeah, it was a nice night.
All right, next on the agenda is Manka Drive, which is map and parcel M17-19-1. The Gardner Conservation Commission will reopen a joint public hearing under MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 in the Wetlands Protection Act. In the City of Gardner Wetlands Protection Ordinance on notice of intent followed by Alan Bellinger for installation of self-storage buildings with incorporated landscaping, driveway, and drainage improvements located at Manka Drive in Gardner. The project is located within the buffer to a bordering vegetated wetland and outer riparian zone. Is anybody here to represent? Just confirming, no? And they had asked for an extension as well? Justin? They've asked for an extension as well?
Brian and Justin asked.
Okay. Someone like to make a motion to continue this to 11:25?
Motion made.
Someone to second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
66 Topaz Terrace. Gardner Conservation Commission will hold a joint public hearing under MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 in the Wetlands Protection Act and City of Gardner Wetlands Protection Ordinance. A notice of intent filed by Sapphire Park manager for the property located at 66 Topaz Terrace, DEP file 1600671. How are you today?
I'm well, how is everybody?
Good.
Good. Does everybody have one of these? Maybe? No, okay. Not much explaining, same as what we've been doing all along, 97 homes now. So, it's our last one. We just have the back, if you're standing on the street, the back, right corner of the home falls within the buffer zone. That's it.
Where's that? Did you have DEP comments on that?
We do have the comments right here. Just let me hand out, an application table. Yeah, so I'll just for the record, you want me to just
Yeah, go
down
ahead.
the DEP comments? All right, so in addition to the DEP number for 1600671, the DEP just wanted to make it clear for the record that the most recent USGS map shows that on the northwest side of the property, there seems to be a perennial stream located within 200 feet of that stream is the lot that we're speaking of. The applicant should confirm whether riverfront area extends onto this lot from the nearby perennial stream and how the project meets performance standards from 310 CMR 1058-4. And then because this lot is part of a larger subdivision, the applicant should confirm that a stormwater management plan was proposed, approved, and is being constructed with the overall development. If there is no stormwater management plan for the development, the applicant should demonstrate that the proposed work on these lots meets the Massachusetts stormwater standards.
I got a question. Is this for us to look at, or we have to sign on this anywhere?
That's for viewing, yeah, I have the,
Okay.
yeah.
So I believe you guys have a stormwater plan already out
We
there.
do, we
I think
do.
I remember us doing that.
We do.
Have you had any logs you can share with the commission at all?
Do I have to do what, I'm sorry?
Logs?
I do, yep, I have everything on file in my office.
Can you send that to us just for
Sure.
record? I think it might say in your.
Yep, I think I mark it every 6 months, I believe we do a check.
Yeah, you might have already sent it to us, but if you want, can you send it to us?
Yeah, it's probably been a while since I sent one over, so yep, I'm happy to do that, sure.
Anybody have any questions on the law?
I mean, why did this come up?
Because of there's one little section there. Do you have that map you were showing me earlier?
Yeah, I can try to dig it up, yeah.
See how it's,
Yeah, it's way in the corner.
I know, it's not really. It's out, but they're just making sure it's right in this area right here. That's the only reason why. Do you believe it's in our jurisdiction?
Right in that corner over there.
If that's a perennial stream, it might be.
Yeah.
I think that this river, I think that stream may have come up, it had to have been the last year or so with the previous conservation agent, and I believe that we had new plans done for it, and she had then verified that it was not within jurisdiction. It was one of those lots that was on that same side, within a few over from there.
Because I mean, there's other lots that are a lot closer.
There's what?
There's lots that are closer,
Right,
all right?
yeah, it had to have been 2 or 3 down maybe from this one here.
That's 68, right? Right here?
Yeah, it would be,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's that say? I'm getting old, I can't see anymore.
Me neither.
Yeah, what is that?
120.
Doesn't help it's tiny.
You guys want, do you see this in the back of your packet?
See it.
I think it is in the same packet.
It should be in the same packet.
You guys wanna see?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's because it's within 200 feet of Foster Brook.
yeah, around 200 feet.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind
And
of.
that's another area that's been disturbed for way before they were there.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not dammed up and the Daniel said he took a walk out.
Yeah, he showed me the
Barely
pictures.
running, but
Yeah.
it does run, yeah.
So what are you proposing? What are your thoughts on this one? After reading DEP's comments and everything, I'm positive they have a stormwater plan in place, and I think I've seen logs over the years.
Yeah, if they do have the stormwater management plan in place, then I do believe that they are doing their best to meet the standards as practicable.
Do we need some more information from?
I don't think so. I think it's just, she's gonna send us the logs.
Yep,
Yeah,
happy to do that.
Yeah. I think you might have sent them to Doug, but if you,
Yeah.
Yep, happy to do that.
so what do we need to do? Just vote and sign off? Standard order of conditions?
Yeah, if the commission so deems it.
So you guys already have the standard order of conditions in this one? I mean, there's a berm and everything there too, so.
Yeah, it's.
I have no problem with them.
Randy, all right with that one? You guys good too? You know where we're talking, it's not, yeah.
Well, it's on anyway, I mean,
Right.
he's-
Yeah, there's one on either side already. All right, would someone like to make a motion to approve, standard order of conditions for, 66 Topaz? It's the 1600671.
Motion made for Topaz.
Second.
All in favor?
I'll start with that.
Yeah, thank you. We'll get this signed and get it over.
Yeah.
As soon as you give us the logs, we'll send the rest of that paperwork over
Perfect,
to
that
us.
sounds great. Thank you, everybody,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
And that's it out there, right?
That's it, yeah,
Oh.
thank you for everybody's time
We
and
won't see you
patience and
anymore?
help. I know, I mean, hey,
You can
maybe,
visit anytime.
maybe I'll just stop in and come to a meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll be in touch with you in the coming days.
Okay, perfect, great, thank you.
All right, the next is request for determination of applicability, which is 572 Betty Spring Road. The Gardner Conservation Commission will hold a joint public hearing under MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 in the Wetlands Protection Act. The City of Gardner Wetlands Protection Ordinance on the request for notice of determination of applicability filed by Matt Morrow, environmental consulting on behalf of Mark Knoll. The proposed project is located at 572 Betty Spring Road and is for the installation of utility poles with a portion of the work occurring within riverfront area. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Card. Here, guys, have some cards. The wife went to the trouble, make sure they were made up pretty nice, so I figured I'd give them. All right, thanks, guys. So hopefully this will be really pretty simple. I had extra copies made of the rendering that I put in. Essentially, it is an RDA for the placement of a telephone pole within the very outer skirts of the riverfront. The reason for the RDA is because a telephone pole is basically a one-day job. It's on the side of the road. The river is actually across the street on Betty Spring. So 572 Betty Spring, owned by Mr. Knoll. Mr. Knoll lives at 572 Betty Spring. There is a lot right next to it that has a gravel drive. It's getting partially grown over, that goes up to the lot. There's a telephone pole that's gonna be out of jurisdiction that goes up top
Yeah.
and one on the bottom going in. and then the wire will connect to the telephone pole that's already existing across the street.
This is for new electrical service
This is
to,
for a new electrical service to the line.
okay. And
So-
who owns the poles?
It will be National Grid,
Both of them?
both of them.
Okay. So they'll do the install too?
They'll do the install. And they're basically, they were just waiting for, commission approval. So I went out, I assessed the area, did the RDA, did an analysis of the riverfront. I mean, the telephone pole essentially is gonna wind up taking maybe less than 1% of the riverfront. So that's basically it. One-day job. If you want some erosion protection, we can, National Grid can
They
do
usually
something.
do it anyways.
Yeah.
Now, there are poles on that side of the road too, already there?
No, there's a pole, there may be, but this particular pole, because I really
Yeah, I
only
see
paid
it down
attention
here.
to that. There's a
Yeah.
pole existing across the street where the perennial stream is, so they're gonna connect to that pole, put 2 new poles here.
Okay.
In fact, I believe when we were out, we
Right.
saw the existing pole.
Right, and from what I saw, all the poles serving that area are on that other side
Oh,
of
it's
the
up
street
like that.
the whole way. So this would just be crossing it to accommodate this new property.
There's no other way to get power to the wall, right? I think we talked about this the last time. When we were-
Now, from the looks of what I see out there and knowing how National Grid would operate, because in order to do, everything there is above ground, in order to do anything underground, they'd actually have to go under the road, which means they'd have to get either the city or DOT involved or both.
Yeah,
It would be a monument, and actually would be, create a lot more work in the riparian.
yeah, a lot more
So
disruption.
it would be closer to the brook. Yeah.
God, I don't think we ever had one something like this one before.
No, we talked about this one a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it is in the riparian zone, and even though it's just on the outskirts of the riparian
Yeah.
zone, so it is within your jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So there should be at least a determination just to memorialize the work, so that you guys have a record of it.
they're gonna drill this, right?
That's what they usually do.
Okay. You think it's still a neg two?
No.
It would be a neg 2 because it's in the riverfront. Technically, the riverfront's a resource area.
Right.
That's the reason for the 2 and not the
We
3.
get nailed on that.
Yeah, we talked about that, yeah.
Yeah, so did Justin and I spoke about that as well.
Yeah.
And the state never sent you any emails, did they?
They didn't send any.
Yeah, and this, both Brianna and Rebecca over DEP,
Yeah.
they take all of the RDAs and they review them. If they have anything that jumps out at them, they will send, they won't send it to like the applicant, but they will send it to
Yeah,
the
to us.
agent.
Yeah.
So
Because
then,
I know, because you guys know I'm the agent in Westminster,
yeah,
so they do that all the time.
yeah. So neg two is the work described request within an area subject to jurisdiction under the act, but will not remove, fill, dredge, or alter that area. Therefore, said work does not require the filing of a notice of intent. Everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Someone like to make a motion to approve the new pole at 572 Betty Spring Road with a -2.
I'll make that motion.
All, second that, someone?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Colony Road one, was that the one with the violation?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're there,
The small section of that did go into Westminster.
yeah, well, it's so close we couldn't tell.
I know, it looked like it did to me, but you guys were handling it like so well.
Yeah.
But while I'm here, now that this is over with, is on my Westminster cap.
Yeah,
Justin, if you need any support on that, please feel free to call on me.
Absolutely.
Town Administrator Stephanie has already given me the
yeah,
permission to do anything that needs to be done to help.
yeah, there's 2 trailers out there,
Are they still out there?
yes,
They're still out there?
They were the last time I
They're
saw
still
it,
there,
but that was
remember?
about a month ago.
they're still there. They're owned by somebody, because I know Mark Eagle, and I called him up and talked to him about it, and those were sold a long time ago. And he gave me the name of the company, they've been out of business for like 15 years.
Okay, well, I will look into that then. Thank you.
You might wanna get in there and get them out of there before it gets even worse. I don't know how you can do that, but, because after a while, you have to get a truck in there to tow them out.
I usually wind up going to KP on stuff like this.
Yeah.
They usually like to growl at people, so.
Yep,
All right, thank you.
good luck, thank you, Matt.
And I'll be in touch with you in the next few days for the.
Thank you. So I read, by the way, guys, I don't know if you know what's going on Stewart Street. I heard they tore the old factory down.
They did.
So what are they gonna do there?
They were, I don't know. What is it?
Condo.
Really?
Oh, I'm surprised.
A duplex, I believe.
So you know the White House next door? The
Yeah.
factory at the dead end? I own that place.
Oh, you do?
I was the one that rehabbed it.
Huh. Interesting.
I'm surprised it's pollution there.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
The next one is a request for project extension for DEP 1600622, which is Kingser Solar Drive Solar Project. Anybody here to represent?
Yes.
Come on up, how you doing? Your name is?
Good, I'm Alex from Kickstarter Energy.
Alex Young?
So you guys took this over from Fred, right?
Correct, yeah, so, Fred typically develops projects, we have a relationship with him, we're based in Allston, Massachusetts. Kickstarter owns and operates about 275 megawatt hours of projects, so we have, upwards of 80, either operating or in development, and, we're local developers, so we own and operate over the lifetime of the projects, and Fred typically develops them to start, and then we would purchase them. And we've done that with him in the past. So we have a relationship with Fred, and we've since acquired it. And you may have received a letter I submitted, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, or it was last week, basically just describing, right now the project's in study. There's not a whole lot to report on anything. No work's been done out there. It sits with National Grid. Under review at the moment, there's a group study, and given the large number of projects in the group area, it's a pretty detailed review, and I believe I quoted since November of 2022, it's been under review to be approved by the DPU, the previous group study. This project is waiting for the next group study to queue up, and for that reason, we've just been sitting in the queue waiting for National Grid to review, and we can't interconnect the project or really proceed without knowing what the costs are that National Grid will present to us, and that's why we're here today to extend, given the expiration date is coming up in December 2024.
So my question was, our side of it, I don't remember Kearsarge being on in our documents. I thought it was who Fred represented. So do we need to get new paperwork going?
I believe so I think we just need a new applicant name on the next extension, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, I think I've done that.
What's the timeframe? Any idea?
For-
Timeframe.
So it's basically comes down to when National Grid finishes, so the DPU has been reviewing the previous group study for about 2 years now. They could come any day. It's very hard to tell when they're gonna predict what they're gonna do next. But say they were to approve it tomorrow, it could be the same process all over again with our group study, which could easily take 2-3 years, plus, so.
So have you read the filing previously, the application?
Yeah, I've seen the previous, we have copies of the previous two.
Because I know we had a lot of stuff in there about cleanup. Do you recall all that?
Yeah,
Fred did a lot of work for us already cleaning it, but there was more agreements on cleaning some of that area.
I think we've investigated that with a firm, GZA, that we've worked with in the past, so everything would be in compliance with all cleanup and before we begin any work. We have, I wanna say, 70 megawatts worth of projects on landfills and brownfields, so it's kind of our specialty, and there's demand for it in the state, because you're not really gonna be able to do anything else with the land, so.
Right,
We have a lot of experience with that, yeah.
Now, do you own the one on Mill Street?
The one on Mill Street, no, this would be our first in town, but we have nearby towns. We have one in Athol, I guess is somewhere.
Because Fred did that one on Mill Street.
Yeah.
Where's the one in Athol?
It's, I can't think of the address off the top of my head, I apologize. Athol, Shirley, Air, and another development in Westminster, off of Spring Street. That one hasn't been built yet, but a lot of focus in this area.
Yeah. So you're looking for an extension. I mean, I think we should probably, I'm fine with the extension, I just want to make sure that you understand the agreements, and it sounds like you understand what Fred and I and our commission had agreed to previously.
Yeah, absolutely, and I also wanted to take the opportunity to just introduce Kearsarge, but we're very experienced in this kind of line of work, and this is what we do in New England. Focus,
What's where we're gonna sign that?
If the commission were to approve,
For 2 years.
it would be up to 3 years.
I think we're 3 years. I'm fine with 3, because they're cleaning it up and it's something.
Yeah.
I mean, Fred did a ton of cleanup the first time.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that? walking
Ponds
out
were
there?
taken out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to monitor the wells.
Do you guys all agree with the 3-year extension?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Someone like to make a motion to approve the extension from Carousel for an extension of 3 years?
I'll
For
make that motion.
201 Kingswood Drive, sorry.
I'll make that motion.
So want to second that?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and the other thing is, extended them, so.
You just gotta write the year on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
so-
3 years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Do you need anything else from me, Justin?
No, but I'll be in contact with you in the coming days to, once I've finalized the documentation
Okay.
and everything like that. So,
Thank you, guys, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you, Alex.
The next on the agenda is request for certificate of compliance for 56 Stephanie Drive, DEP 1600101. Boy, that's an old one. So you wanna kinda go over what you found out there?
About a week and a half ago, land use and closing attorneys for an applicant for the closing on 56 Stepping Drive. It has a outstanding order of conditions, almost 30 some odd years old. And from my knowledge of the lot, from what I've seen on the maps, the main structure of the house is outside of jurisdiction from the nearby pond, and anything that was done after the development process has been outside of our jurisdiction. They're just looking to see if the lot can be released from the outstanding conditions.
You're in favor of the certificate? You support it?
From what I observed, I don't think there would be anything that would complicate it if the commission were to accept it.
Did you drive by there?
I did drive.
Okay,
yes.
good. All right.
Well, can I just ask, what were the conditions that needed to be? Because there's language on there about replication
On the very.
on one of the lots, I don't know if it's that lot.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that lot though.
But it's not clear that it isn't that lot.
And
Did you see anything at all in our files?
I didn't know, yeah, and looking for that specific, yeah, something that old too was very expensive.
Is the brook right behind it?
Was it? No, not broke up.
Okay,
Yeah,
It's their pond.
yeah.
It's behind 99.
Yeah.
okay.
I only asked because there's a few things on that document of 30 years, and one of them was replication.
Yeah.
It's
But I
got
don't
4
know,
lines of text, one of them is about replication.
but I don't know if it's that one though.
Yeah, I don't know if it
There's
is
a
either.
whole, that
It's not
whole
clear.
development. If you come around and turn, it's all wet in the back.
Yeah.
That's where I believe it is.
On the other side?
Yes. That's what I think the replication area was.
Yeah, as you go down Stephanie Drive around on the right-hand side.
Yeah, which is not this lot.
It just wasn't clear.
No, I know. I'm fine with it, I mean, who's gonna enforce this at this point? I mean, there's
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah, because the laws weren't in effect then.
technically.
Right.
So,
God.
someone like to make a motion to approve the request for certificate of compliance of 56 Stephanie Drive.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. One of these days, we're gonna get them all done.
It's
Realize it's sold, you know?
Yeah.
How many were sold and never got this? They still sell.
Well, we're getting pushed when they want to sell, and they want to close in 2 days.
I think after talking with the attorney too, they said that it's gone from multiple ownerships until they got to this point, but since they
So he found it.
Since they found it, it's best to try to take care of it. you know.
Replication wasn't that extensive in the city back
Yeah,
then.
no, for sure.
Yeah, and they do realize that there may be other lots that are still,
Yep, that's the ones I'm thinking of down more.
yeah, so, yeah.
All right, the next on the agenda is emergency certificate for the Beaver Dam breach from the DPW. And we all agreed to it, we just gotta ratify and sign off on it. To make it official, let's make a motion to approve the emergency, the signatures of the Beaver Dam breach by DPW. Someone like to make a motion to approve the signatures.
I'll make that motion. Sorry, I'm sorry, Dave, go ahead.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Alright, we've already voted on it for the emergency, but I just wanna make sure we get it.
Any update on it?
Beaver Dam has, been removed kind of thing, and they're monitoring for, for the change.
They track it, don't they?
Yeah.
And they have to keep going.
No,
Like, does it need a beaver deceiver, or does not, you can't really put one there?
I
I don't know, it's like an area.
I think we'll have to be in talks with the DEP and the Board of Health about long-term solutions to that. Because for this particular breach, there wasn't the removal of the actual animal itself kind of thing. So there is a chance that eventually it might,
Work its way back around again.
get back, yeah.
Alright, next on the agenda is the enforcement order on the sludge landfill. Justin, can you kind of give us a rundown on that?
One second, so,
You guys see this?
Yep, I got a copy. Thank you for that.
Yeah. I never see the other side if you guys get it or not, so.
Yeah, I run public records every month,
So, a few weeks ago, I got contacted by the director of our DPW stating that they had received a letter from a DEP inspector out of their central office indicating that there was a complaint of a sediment deposition on the outlet of their stormwater system. And upon learning of this, they notified me, forwarded the letter, and we went out to conduct a site visit, mirroring that there was one self-deposition a couple years beforehand. This one was a lot lesser in size, but it still occurred due to over-inundation and age of the BMPs that were already in place. DEP had advised the agent that the best course of action was to write an enforcement order in the context of a work order to make sure that we act quickly and effectively to make sure that it gets cleaned up. As of today, the sediment has been removed, the check dams have been replaced, the swale has been cleaned, and it was written on the enforcement order that any major maintenance towards the outlet or major modifications should be run by us, or the long-term plan should be run by us in order to evaluate for proper permitting procedure.
So who maintains it right now?
I think it's Viola.
And they don't have a representative here?
I believe so.
Well, I think they should be. So I want them to come before us and talk about it and figure out like what's the maintenance plans that's been done and how they answer this. I know that you sent some stuff out to us, but they should be coming before us. Does everybody agree with that? And
Yeah, I agree with that.
go ahead, Dave.
Not just that.
I checked my records from before, I mean, I have pictures in 2020 of the same thing happening.
In the
So-
same spot too?
Yeah, so what's the deal?
Yeah,
So that's why they should be here. I
yeah,
have pictures of the same place,
yeah.
big sediment.
I thought it was down a little bit more.
But like, what's the deal?
Yeah.
I mean, what's causing it?
I mean,
Go ahead.
That's-
I mean, it's lack of maintenance.
it's potentially lack of constant maintenance and attention. That could be a potential barrier for that.
Yeah, get that back.
But, yeah. Yeah, I suppose, at least for now, the action is to potentially ratify this, and I can also make the action to talk with both DPW and potentially be able to get representation from both, so if we have questions.
What?
they can-
Well, I think we put it on hold until they come out on the 25th.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do too.
I
I mean,
agree.
they haven't been in front of us in a while, and it's happening in the same spot, and we just wanna make sure the maintenance is done. It could be something else could have happened, we don't know, but we'd like a full explanation of it. And representation should have already been here, they should not show. So, I mean, why do they feel that they don't have to be here when they have an enforcement order? I mean, Ken's driving an hour and 20 minutes to get here one way for 13 minutes in front of us. So let's put this on hold until the 25th of November.
You wanna vote it?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we put it on hold.
Oh, okay,
We're not gonna sign in there.
okay.
Someone to second that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
25th. We gotta have somebody here.
Yeah, there's an hold, right, that's,
I mean,
Come on.
that's more than fair. We want, I'll send you what we're looking for when they come out.
Okay.
Maintenance plans,
Yeah.
who's in charge, who was on that day, who made the repairs, what they're gonna do in the future, but I'll send it to you.
Yeah, my only question is in my experience, typically just the enforcement order portion does typically have to be ratified within the next meeting, just for.
Yeah,
just
we'll-
just to worry.
The stop.
Yeah, we'll stop, we'll sign it when they come out on the 25th.
Okay.
I don't wanna, I mean, unless you wanna open it back up and sign it, we see it.
The only question is, does this allow them to be able to do stuff?
Well, that's what I want them to fix it.
Right.
And if we
Yeah.
stop work, they can't fix it. That's what we did with Ken,
Well, we,
completely fixed. I know they cleaned it up. Let me see it. What does it say on there?
yeah. It's the green lighting for the work or for what was allowed to be done under that is the repair, is a lot of the light repair measures and the corrective action to remove the actual slip itself. Like anything that's, you know, restorative or anything that's more
More than cleanup.
more than cleanup should be brought to us.
So
Yeah.
nothing's been done
This-
so far?
no maintenance is done since the last time?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
So erosion controls have been replaced. The silt that was deposited outside has been removed. And the check dams have been also repaired and the swale has also been cleaned. The swale that comes before the outlet. So
Yeah,
a lot of that has already been done.
I think we should meet with them again before we do anything.
I agree with you, David.
Yeah, see, I'm confused on why we need to sign off.
Where do we stop?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm
That's my
saying.
biggest question.
A restoration plan shall be filed with the issuing authority on or before 10/28. So where's their plan?
That was,
Do they have a plan from the last time?
Well, they need
that was the thing we would have.
they said an attached page, but this says the violation information, the findings. But this is on them, right? Then the order, associated parties will work to adhere to recommendations of the DEP by utilizing least impactful methods such as the use of hand tools should be used in the removal of sediment. See, I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, sign it. Tell them, won't talk to them about it.
Replacement of the old silt fence and erosion control measures shall occur within stormwater swale in the area of impact. Associated parties, well, the other associated parties, right? Who wrote this?
I did.
You wrote that for them?
I wrote that for them to do what they had to do.
Yeah, but,
For a DEP recommendation.
Yeah, I know.
As for the DEP recommendation, and it also mirrors the past enforcement order that was done. It's,
did they already do the work?
they already did the immediate work to abate the immediate problem.
Did they put a new silt fence up?
They put the new silt fence up.
Parties should notify the Conservation Commission and its agent before the start and completion of the implementation of these methods. Any extensive modifications to long-term minutes within the areas will require a filing. Where's their filing?
I'm still going to ask that they take me out to
So you haven't
look
seen
at
it
this.
yet?
They sent me a picture of the new silt fence.
You read it,
at
I
the
don't
edge of-
know.
at the
Somebody
edge
else
of the
did.
outlet.
You guys, I don't remember us doing it like that last time. With Ken, we stopped work, got everything together, and then we signed.
That was 3 years, 3 years ago? How long is that?
4.
Was it 4?
Yeah, 2020.
2020, yeah.
Time flies.
I don't know, I don't understand what we're signing off. We're signing off that the enforcement order is in place.
I think so, right? Is that what it is?
And
You know, I might as well bring this up because it's gonna come up. You people appealed, yeah, to Worcester, and we had that meeting up there, right?
Yeah.
How long ago was that? Do you remember roughly?
The appeal meeting was last year. It was, I think it was in May.
No, that's the first one, the second one.
All right. Well, we never heard anything back from that either.
Yeah, that's different than.
I know, but you know, supposedly now I was told MIPA has
they're taking it over.
has to do something with it, and they're very slow, which is typical. Yeah.
So do you guys agree that we, see? So I can open this back up with a vote, but I don't understand, they need to come before us and tell us what they're gonna do going forward. You said they fixed everything already, but you haven't seen it yet.
yeah, I've seen one photo of the new.
Did you go down there?
Air.
Have you been down there?
Not since we enacted the order.
I mean, order puts them on notice essentially.
All right, well.
I mean, that,
Yeah,
I think that's what that does. We're still gonna require them to come.
yeah, but they needed to tell us
We're
what
really
they're gonna
stopping
do.
them from doing anything at this point.
Yeah, but this is saying that they'll tell us what they're gonna do by the 28th.
Right, I did see that.
Oh, next month?
No,
Yes, it is.
Oh, today? Oh, no, all right. So they've already done this?
Well, they have to clean it up
Yeah, they
immediately.
Yeah, that's too big, the immediate impact.
So you already signed it because we already put it in place, correct?
Yes.
All right, someone, I'd like to make a motion to open back up the 50 Manka Drive enforcement order against the, issued by the City of Gardner Conservation to the City of Gardner Department of Public Works.
I'll make that motion.
Someone like to second the reopening.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, someone like to make a motion to approve the enforcement order to the City of Gardner Department of Public Works per the enforcement order and attached documents, and also with a request that they come before us on the 25th of November.
I'll make that motion.
Someone like to second that motion?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I jumped the gun on it then. I don't understand this back here. So I just put on there representative to attend the 11:25 meeting. Again, I'll send you what we're looking for, but they should have that, they should have already submitted all that paperwork to us. Can you also find the file from the last time this happened in that location and have it ready for us on the 25th?
I can also do that as well.
Actually, if you can scan it and send it to us in advance, that'd be good.
Yes.
Unless it's massive, just give the filing information and the enforcement.
Yeah, I can grab that for enforcement order tomorrow.
Yeah, just send it to us.
Yeah, I can do that.
I remember it, but I don't remember how. I thought Dane came before us after that. Certainly there's an arrangement that's happening to do that.
Yeah, that's, I don't know how recent it is.
All right, let's keep going then. So the 25th, that's when we're looking to have this back on. Next is the new business, is the nature trail update. Before the meeting, I had instructed Justin just to confirm on the submittals on the New England Wetlands mix. What was submitted on is a little different than we're used to. This is kind of, I don't understand, it says it's, we hereby certify Valley Green Incorporated. Anybody ever hear of them?
No.
That they provided Maderos Landscaping of Munson, Mass. This, and it's called quantity to be determined, identified by New England Wet Mix. And I don't understand, this is not even a full submittal, this is more like a cover page of a certificate of compliance, I don't understand it. You know grasses,
It
you
doesn't
look.
say much there.
Here, pass it over. It looks like, we were looking at it, it looks like the same, but it's not the typical submittal we see. You can make that bigger if you want, you wanna make it bigger? It doesn't work, no.
Okay.
Well, so what happened, we don't want the same thing to happen at the middle school that happened. See, mine doesn't do that screen. This looks to me,
Okay. That's good.
so we started looking at the mix.
Yeah.
And it looks the same, but normally it's not bought from, it's sold right from New England Wet Plants out in Amherst, in Hadley.
Some of the stuff I remember being the
Yeah.
same. But
Yeah, it looks the same, right? You guys know grass, but up here it says, this Green Valley, when I Googled them today, I couldn't find them.
Really?
See, with,
Yeah.
so they're not the ones that make it. So this could be a resell from Hadley to them.
Right.
So I asked Justin just to kind of confirm what that was. And this is a one-page submittal.
Did you think that, contact, Ty and Bond? They're the ones looking at it.
They are, but it just looks a little different than what we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
You come down and,
You wanna go to the top?
yeah. They should put them with you in front.
I know, it doesn't, I don't know what that even is.
Yeah.
But it looks like they did this and they cut and pasted this in.
Yeah.
So we just wanna make sure that's what's out on site.
Yeah.
So they did plan.
Have they planted it yet? They should
I
have.
haven't gotten verification as to whether or not they've seeded. Yet they are planning to do it before it's too late, but they're not expecting to see a lot of germination until.
I think tomorrow you should get, send Ty and Bond things and.
Just, yeah, we wanna confirm that this has been,
Right.
Verification.
First thing tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Really,
because it says approved as noted, and there's no notes on it.
yeah.
So I don't understand what the notes are. Usually when there's approved as noted, there's a modification not to the submittal, and it's a one-page submittal, which, I don't know, I would have denied the submittal from the start. And then there's a couple areas that I noted to Justin about, where the silt fence is kind of falling down, and some of the silt socks kind of pushed a little bit, and it might be because when they're scraping on the way by, it's kind of pushing rock up. But let's just get that rectified. I don't think there's any major rain, in the forecast.
Some later on in the week, but just showers.
Yeah, I think Friday.
Nothing serious.
And then, David, you had mentioned, you would talk to Justin by email about, do you think that tree can be saved? No problem?
I mean, I'm not saying no problem, but
Yeah,
they should be able to survive.
okay. Any other update on the trail?
Have a drink.
Other than pulling some of the, easement for
You're
it
tough.
now.
You're tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex did just send, a recent report on the continued subgrading and starting work on where they're gonna put the culverts. I will be sending those reports over to the commission, starting tomorrow.
Who's here for the nature trail? You're normally involved, you wanna take a look? That's just the, Ty and Bond reports, field reports, yeah, I wanna see it.
Likely.
Yeah, they look good.
It's awfully big piping they're putting in there.
Yeah, well, they gotta upsize it now with the, I think it's a new standard, but now, can you talk about where they wanna turn it? One of the culverts or something I saw?
They're, turning or resizing?
They will bring the culverts in today.
Yeah, but they wanna resize one and turn it, I thought I saw. Cause that's, I don't know why they wanna do that, a change. I'm gonna read it. right here. More notes, had a discussion with Mike about the alignment of the 36-inch culvert. A tree is located where the flared end and riprap are supposed to be. The solution is to shorten the culvert to 32 linear feet and adjust the angle slightly clockwise, which may also field adjust the end of the 12-inch culvert. I don't know why the engineers seem to be aware of this, this isn't how you do it. During the discussion, we also spoke about making sure that the embankments are not too steep. So this is like a daily log, kind of what you're reading over there, but these should be RFIs, requests for information. They shouldn't be making modifications. So if you could find out who this Mike guy is, and Mike's the foreman, I guess, and find out what they're doing and maybe get approval from Ty and Bond to make any culvert changes. And I don't always like turning a culvert.
Well, I'd like to see what Time Bond says about it.
Yeah, I know, but they're putting in their daily,
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what the process is, but normally you'd submit and say, hey, on column line X, we're moving it 10 feet. Then this is upcoming schedule, so somebody's aware. Partlow is working to install the 12-inch culvert today, which means they installed it, but they might want to change the length. After the 12-inch culvert is installed, they plan to continue subgrade to work up the 36-inch culvert. Partlow will then complete the 36-inch culvert and the remaining subgrade work. Plan to have subgrade compaction tests done by the end of the week. Then next week, they plan to work on placing the geotextile fabric, which you should probably witness. And the goal is to pave in about 3 weeks with a tentative date of 11/21.
What was the completion date? Do you remember?
I thought it was around Thanksgiving, but I think it's gonna be extended. I think they got a later start than what they told us originally, which I understand that.
Yeah, and they've also had a bit of trouble with the amount of help that they've had on site at one time. I think at one point there was a step where they had too many people, not enough shovels, so to speak, kind of thing, and now they've kind of got the reverse for the last couple.
I can't remember.
For a little bit. I apologize for the bad and awful analogy, but,
So the pavement, so this is more to my point on the wetlands mix. This one says, this is an approved submittal for the pavement, and it says approved. The wetlands, grass, seed says approved as noted, but no changes to the submittal, so that's what we're looking, see how it says it up here? That's why we're looking for it.
So it hasn't been changed?
I don't know, that's what I mean,
Yeah.
they might have approved it because it's the same mix, but the way it's presented
Yeah.
is, usually you stamp approved if it's 100% exact.
Yeah.
So they approved as noted.
Yeah.
The asphalt has it as approved, no changes.
Yeah.
So this is just a DOT mix.
Yeah.
Which we asked for. All right, Ramsdale Pond, how are we looking on
Can I
that?
ask, so, should Time Bond be aware of this culvert thing?
Well, I don't,
Are they involved?
They're
Like
looking
they
at
did?
it from our point of view.
they could be, I don't know how their Procore process is.
Yeah, I don't either, but.
So normally it would be an RFI, and they would send that to the architect, and it'd be copied on to
Right.
Justin, then he'd let us know. And I just, the engineer, or whoever the foreman is on site, he's filling these out. I can't see who's approving them or noting that there's a change. So I would follow up, because it looks like they're gonna do something tomorrow.
Okay, that's what it is.
You're gonna be
I've been
busy.
up there every day.
Yeah.
There's only one guy that's been working there, really.
Mike, it looks like,
Yeah.
yeah. He's taking a lot of pictures, he's doing all the paperwork, I just don't know their process,
Yeah.
their flow.
Looks good.
All right, Ramsdale Pond, what do we got?
Oh,
so,
I can tell you what we got. Don't we see what you want? Well,
So,
since you brought it up, I'm gonna tell you.
well, it's the same thing as 170 Mill Street, right?
Yeah.
Which is under the old business
Right.
enforcement. Okay, go ahead, you
Well-
want it there?
Justin and I went down and we met the owner. Well, we thought he was the owner. Come to find out, he's not the owner.
It's his brother.
No, there's no owner. Because the corporation that owned it had been no progress on it, so the state deleted them. They said that, you know, that this corporation's not being used, but- so they, you know, it doesn't stand anymore.
good fun.
So now he told us this himself,
Who did?
Harrisovich.
Okay.
So he says, but I got first refusal when we get it all straightened out. Right now, nobody owns it. Which is crazy.
So what about, didn't, Mass Dam Safety, say that he owned it, he put it up, I mean, they identified him as the owner, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't, but according to what he told us, nobody owns it.
Well, who's the owner of record right now on the tax? If you look on that law, who owns it? The tax ID map, who's?
So.
No, it's, what is it? What was the corporation?
So if I look on Mass Map for the parcel identification stuff, it says 129 South Main and as the property owner.
And who's that? That's what we don't know.
That's what we don't know.
So Mass Dam Safety's done all this work, wrote all these letters, and they're not the correct owners?
According to him, he's
Yeah,
not,
according to him, but according to the
according to him, he's
state.
not the owner anymore.
So why does he have all that?
Well,
No.
because he had it there when he was brought in. He's moved some of that equipment out.
So he doesn't own that lot?
No, he doesn't own anything down there. No.
So he hired his agent, or his, what was that guy's name? McCarthy, right? Did all that work for that lot that he says he doesn't own.
Yeah,
He says he's the legal owner on the paperwork.
according to him, ask Justin, right, Justin, he says, I don't really own this anymore. And he told us that the corporation had been,
His corporation?
yes, hadn't been used, or whatever it is.
Listen, okay.
And he,
Go to the city clerk and pull up the record to see who owns it.
Does that include the building too?
no, he told me he just bought the building from the Horseshoe Club.
No, the other building in the back.
Yeah, that's part of the dam and everything, yeah.
Can you just do that tomorrow? City clerk, find out who owns it.
Now, there's no water in the pond,
Yeah,
or very little.
There's
He's,
a stream that comes out of the house down the line,
okay.
on Mill Street. It goes underneath and then.
So this whole time, Emily Caruso, everybody else, including his own agent, has been writing letters that something he doesn't own, or he doesn't, oh, I got it right
well, the
here.
corporation doesn't own
The
it.
next one, which is 200.
So it says, well, he owned it before. It says right here,
No,
170
no.
Mill Street is
But
owned
it
by
was
120.
transferred to, I don't remember the name of the
But he doesn't want
corporation.
part of that.
Well, find out, okay, so if they don't own it, find out when it was transferred or,
So they keep bouncing.
Actually, what I could gather, it's in limbo.
yeah, well then,
Now, you know, you remember the letter they sent him? He had to do all this work and they estimated the cost of it?
yeah.
Well, everything's out. The dam's, the dam is flowing through.
Yeah.
It's not backing up any more than it was 30 years ago.
30 years ago, the pond was dry.
No, there was always a back pond in there a little bit, not very little.
No, it's 6 inches of water.
Right, well, it's probably 12 inches of water today, right now.
So I don't know if I'm reading this right, but it says,
Trickle.
July 28, 2020, tax taking, somebody bought the land
Watch out.
from the city collector. And it's 129 South Main Street Corporation, so basically what, well, I'm not gonna say what he
That's what it
did.
was.
Something
Just find out-
doesn't sound right.
Yeah, find out when it was.
Oh, no, you're right.
Lot doesn't.
Now, he also said, all the problems down there were none of his, he wasn't the problem. There were people
Well,
in
he
there
probably wasn't before
putting
that.
boards in, taking boards out, putting boards in,
Yeah, him.
and he told us about the canoes they found down there, oh, it's just, whatever.
Right.
Being said, the main, I guess, the main update for the Ramsdale Pond is that it's been reduced to a split tributary. I haven't received a final synopsis report from dam safety or the engineer as of yet, but for what we discussed on site during the time that I met them out there, the leading suspicion as to how the pond got drained was that the little piece of infrastructure that worked as a stop plug on the low channel gave way after a very long time and minimal, if not any, upkeep to the actual structure itself. And it drained almost like a, in a sense, like a sink or a bathtub. And over time, I haven't seen any giant piles of, fish, or no fish kills, no giant piles of sediment, so no sediment plumes, and no reports for flooded infrastructure, damaged infrastructure. As of yet, but we are still waiting on confirmation for future variables that contributed to the change in composition of the wetland itself.
Okay.
So,
All right, so what's the update of the school? Looks like stuff's coming up already vegetation wise.
yeah, a lot of vegetation. I took a walk out with,
Want to see now? You good?
I took a walk out with Mark Hawk and
With who?
Mark Hawk and Wayne Anderson. Wayne Anderson's the gentleman who's typically in charge of facilities and stuff.
Yep.
There at the school.
He's a couple for us, yeah?
Yep, and did a walk around. Definitely didn't see a lot of wildflower mix.
Well, it's toward the end of that already.
Yeah, but from what I could tell, it looked a lot better than what I saw in the pictures from the report last year. I do think they have taken a lot of decent corrective actions.
Okay, so we're gonna check it in the spring?
Yeah, I think we should check it in the spring, and if it is satisfactory by spring, then we can potentially start looking at working with them for the following steps for potentially requiring a certificate of compliance if everything checks out.
Well, they have to file for it, request it, so, okay. And then under old business is 170 Mill Street, which we just discussed, but you're gonna see what the property record is of 170 Mill Street, and
I'll check.
whoever owns that lot, where the water is.
I'll check with the clerk in the assessor's office as well. Just
Okay.
for the information that you guys might be looking for.
Also check and see if the transfer of deeds for the Gardner Horseshoe Club.
Yeah.
Now, he supposedly he bought that. I don't know, he didn't own it.
And also 200, which is the one on the other side. I
Just
saw that he bought.
all surrounding property, just get the property cards and send them to us. Okay, that's gonna continue, somebody like to make a motion to approve the 170 Mill Street to 1125.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Someone to second it?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Professional Development MACC Fall Conference debrief. I know you guys went out there. Corinne, did you put in for get your reimbursement?
Yes,
Did you get your reimbursement yet?
yes,
Great.
You did?
yes,
Already?
yes,
Wow. City's getting better.
yes.
Let me get started on that. What'd you think of the conference and what did you
Oh,
learn?
it's always good to see what other people are doing and network with people informally. Yeah, it was really worthwhile. Yeah.
What was your biggest takeaway?
Some towns are more proactive than we are.
Because usually we get the opposite.
Yeah.
We're here, we're one of the most active in the state.
No, I know that, I know that. No, I mean like going out and holding Earth Days and
Oh.
garlic mustard pulling and other different things.
Okay. Yeah, we used to do a lot of that, and we had
Yeah.
Jeff was doing it. We used to do all kinds of plantings.
Somebody,
They all died.
Natick maybe, has regulations for what any landscaper in the town can use, plants that any landscaper can use in the town.
Even out of the wetlands, because I mean, we're only,
Yeah, yeah.
that would nothing, we can't do that, that's why our jurisdiction is unlawful.
That's what it sounded like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. What did you learn, anything good?
Yeah, I took, I think about 2 or 3 different stormwater courses, trying to see how to more effectively fill out our paperwork or look at what we might look at for conditions in relation to projects from that lens. Took a look at a FEMA flood insurance course because we did just have discussion with EP from DCR, who's typically talking with towns about their ordinances and see if they match up to the current standards.
Yeah.
And I thought that in the best interest of keeping multiple staff members in the same headspace with thinking about keeping up with those standards, I thought that taking a refresher course on that would be good, especially if eventually go for certifications such as certified floodplain managers or things like that. And then another one, which was about accelerating restoration and meeting resilience and biodiversity goals, is presented by Mass Audubon, and they kind of talked about how to look at long-term restoration projects, and also some of having an open thought discussion as to some of the hurdles that communities or applicants largely see when they're dealing with those types of projects, And I think some of the most common ones are consistency, capacity and funding, and sometimes even the permits. I mean, as we've seen a lot of permits, some of them can be daunting, and so are some of the timelines with applying for them and lining them up with some potential grants that you might actually be going for in order to help fund important projects. So,
Great.
The term he used was the corporation was inactive, so the state dissolved it.
So nobody owns it right now?
That's what he said, nobody owns it. He said, but I have first refusal.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right, the next meeting is the 25th, so that's gonna be a busy night. Any other new business? Anybody have any other new
I
business?
have a couple of comments.
Go ahead.
Justin, you have to do a favor, I hope.
All right.
Could you speak a little louder? Because I know there are people having a hard time, and I'm one of them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And the other thing is the solar panels on Mill Street need real maintenance. There's saplings growing up through the panels, there's weeds that high, everything needs to be trimmed, and I'd like to see that done this year, not next year.
Yes, I just looked it up, it's, what did I say, blue? I just looked it up, but they have maintenance plans and we have them on file. We should probably be able to find that.
Yeah, you're right there, it's amazing. I don't think they haven't touched things since they opened.
Yeah.
I actually took the site visit out with Board of Health, because the Board of Health got a complaint or notification about that too. So I have seen that, a couple poplars have definitely taken roost on the inside of that fence.
Yeah, if you flew a drone over it, it'd look messy, real messy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Blue Hub Capital. That's who owns it now.
I think you kill that nice tree that we're.
Yeah. What was that, a buttonwood?
Cottonwood. But it's seen for all these things that are growing up.
That's still there.
Yeah, barely.
No, that big one over there.
Yeah, it's rotten.
Bad shape though.
Yeah.
All right, anybody have any other new business?
About that.
I'll send pictures of the field.
Okay, anybody in the audience have anything?
Yeah, quick one.
Yep.
Alan Russo, 2 Lembeck Spring Road. Are you aware of the contamination problem of 1,4-dioxane in the vicinity of the landfill property in Gardner?
No, I'm not. If you want to send me what you have, Alan.
Yeah, briefly, the monitoring report revealed that there was exceedances for 1,4-dioxane. It's a carcinogen.
Yeah.
And it was found in 4 of the monitoring wells and my pond, which is called SW4, surface water number 4, 1,200 feet from the property. The Board of Health is starting to address this issue, but I thought I heard mention that the Concom was notified or somehow spoken to, or...
Have you heard anything on this?
Yes, I have.
You have? Someone notified you? Or the
Not
commission?
personally, they notified the mayor, and I notified him. Dioxin's the most potent chemical ever made by man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a real problem. It moves fast through the ground.
Yeah.
I've requested that, I've sent a long couple of emails, copied DEP people,
Yeah.
basically asking that they hire a licensed site professional to really look at this thing.
Gotta see how much is there too.
Right, and to develop a contamination pattern.
Yeah.
You know, if it's 1,200 feet from the property, and this stuff moves through soil
Yeah.
very quickly, that they should be doing, you know, exhaustive testing right now. The sludge landfill has 3 test monitoring locations. They don't test for 1,4-dioxane. I said, why don't you have them do that?
Yeah, they test for whatever the state is, I have not been
Right.
notified, so.
So I just wanted to make sure where, it sounds like some of you are.
Well, it's all unofficial, you want
you know,
people.
unofficial through one member.
Someone needs to, yeah.
I think
it's
they
not-
use some of that in
David.
Agent Orange.
David,
What?
what was it used for?
Well, dioxin to kill weeds, like Agent Orange.
No,
Oh, really?
this is a different, this is actually a different, it's not dioxin, it's dioxane, A-N-E.
A&E?
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
It's-
All right, so what was it used for in Gardner?
Well, it's used in a lot of cleaning chemicals, all right?
So the factories used it then?
Well, I'm not sure how much the factories used it, but it literally could be flushed down your sinks and your toilets because it's used in a lot of cleaning agents, all right? So when this thing popped up, the first question I asked the Concom is, where is this coming from?
Oh, you asked
Yeah,
the-
Board of Health, the Board of
Okay.
Health. Where is it coming from? What's the source of the, is it a liner leak at the bottom? Is it a cap leak at the top? They're not even sure it's all, they're not sure. So right now, they're trying to investigate it. I get concerned when, you know, we got an enforcement order for silt material from the sludge landfill, because I asked the question, could this be come from the sludge landfill? Don't know. Don't know. So, just wanted to make you aware of it. It's already been discussed at 3 Board of Health meetings. It's in their minutes. It's in their video recordings, including tonight's meeting. They're going to continue to get more information from DEP.
Well, if it's dioxane, everything I said is not true.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're thinking of dioxin
Yeah,
from
right.
like those weed chemicals. This is dioxane.
Yeah, okay.
But it's still a nasty,
Yeah.
nasty carcinogen.
go to the Board of Health so you can find, and send it out to the commission. Thank you, Alan.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Anybody have anything else?
Can I just, this is a clarification question. Shouldn't Board of Health be telling us about something that's in the water?
Well, until they're told officially, and I don't know where the report came from, maybe they're waiting for the report. I don't know. I've never heard anything of this before.
I haven't either, that's my point. This makes no sense.
Yeah, they did notify the Templeton Board of Health. That happened at the end of August. Just a
Okay.
heads up to say that,
Yeah.
you know, there's something here, because Templeton is kind of.
So that's 2 months.
Within a mile.
No. All right, we'll look into it. I appreciate the heads up.
Thank you.
Just let us know what you find on that. Okay? Someone like to make a motion to end tonight's hearing?
Motion made.
Someone like to second that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.